Listen up, people. We have a big favor to ask, and we promise it won't take up too much of your time. You know, our show is supported by some fantastic sponsors, right? Well, we'd love to hear your feedback. Head to ESPNpodcaststudy.com and fill out a short, anonymous survey. That's it. We swear, again, that's ESPNpodcaststudy.com.
This is the best of the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
So Jalen Rose is wearing his draft day suit. Is that pink? Was that pink that he was wearing there?
Looks like a bright red.
Yes, very bright.
Okay, so that's my eyes, or that's the television, or that's the suit? Is it faded over the 20 years?
There's white pinstripes on it, which might give the appearance that it's a hot pink.
Yep.
What did I hear you guys yelling about? And I want to get some things off the ground today. Guillermo, are we going to get into the crusade of trying to get Ichiro into the home run derby? Because as an international superstar, as a man who really brought the sports from Japan and America together, brought all of that together as a symbol in both countries, as a hero, here and there, are we going to get him into the All-Star game?
Oh, now we're getting him to the All-Star game, too.
No, the home run derby.
Okay.
How do we do this? I feel like we need to leave behind your failed Lewis Brinson.
Whoa. You're abandoning ship on this thing? What kind of captain are you? Yeah. The captain goes down with this ship. Yeah. You're jumping off this ship before we get to the All-Star game?
I have a child. Aren't you the captain?
Yeah, and Dan wants me to leave?
I'm just bringing another ship closer by in case I have to jump from this ship, because this ship doesn't always sound like ship when my father pronounced it.
You could also have a fleet of ships.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you would leave this campaign that we have going. It's, humming along here. Last night we had another sign in Minnesota. So we're picking up steam. Now, I have unfortunate news in terms of our contest that I started yesterday. Apparently that's a no-no. So I can't be saying that I'm going to be giving away shirts and books, which I shouldn't even be giving away to begin with. Right. I can't be saying that I'm going to be doing that. I can encourage you guys to support our campaign, and possibly, as a result of your support, maybe goodies will find their way towards you. But I can't solicit votes or things with the promise of sending you things. But again, if you want to support us, maybe I can reward your support in certain ways, but I can't tell you that if you do something, I'm going to send you something, if you know what I mean.
All right. Let me, you guys, let me explain to the audience what's happening here. For those of you who are new to the program, Guillermo has gotten behind the Lewis Brinson campaign. He has gotten behind it, and it hasn't done anything but be roar, no reach.
Little reach.
Okay, just to recap for people. Top 15 in all-star voting came in. The lowest number was pretty low. It was $100,000. It was some dude like Matt Adams.
100,000 votes. That's a fun.
100,000 votes. Right. Okay.
Dollars.
Well, and so Guillermo has thrown all his weight behind get Lewis Brinson into the All-Star game.
You've been doing this thing where I fine you and you don't take money out?
Well, because I'll tell you why this is.
I keep taking money out.
I'll tell you why this is. It's because I've simply stopped listening to you. It's such a fly around an elephant's tail that every time, on this one thing, every time that I'm sitting here and you say, that's a fine, $5, $10, $20, $40, $50, $100, that's $1,000. And just, your words stop meaning anything.
Your tone's not great. That's a fine. If you want the total, I'm keeping a running total. You owe $1,052.
I have. This is what has happened. This is what I'm telling you. The fine system has been a plague around here for a long time.
Want an IOU for that? I'll write one up.
But you have made things so messy here that I want to do away. I want to write
not my mistakes.
Hold on. This is what I want to do. I am so eager to get rid of this joke that he makes with the fine. The way it slows down the show, where he's going to his wallet and reaching for money and everything stops.
Listen to me. You said dollars. It's votes. That's a fine.
You're right. I can't dispute what it is that you're saying.
And now you're blaming me. And I had nothing to do with it. I'm just sitting here. I'm along for the ride with you. I'm here. I got your back every day. But I'm just telling you, that's a fine, man. And so I fine you, and what happens is there's no money sitting on the console when we leave here, and that's not the spirit of the rule. Without rules, there's anarchy, Dan.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Anyway.
But I don't know what to do with this. We've got this fine system that daily derails the show with you and your nonsense. I don't know what the fines are on me. What, for the record, are the fines on me? Because you've gotten to where you're asking me for $1 every couple sentences I say.
Right.
It's why I've started to ignore you, because every couple sentences you're just looking. You're spending the show. Mike, he is spending the show looking for the mistakes where he can just take money out of my pocket. So it's not just symbolic anymore, but he's actually doing it every segment on television in front of everybody.
For someone who can't really listen all that well, or just refuses to, he's got such a great ear for when you mess up.
Yeah.
Well, but okay, so I want to write the whipty-damn-do check. Once upon a time, Derek Coleman, he knew he was going to get a bunch of fines for not behaving with an NBA team. He wasn't going to, dress the way they wanted him to dress.
It's damn do.
Well,
whoop-de-damn-do, not dan-do. $10.
It's fine for you for messing up a joke.
Oh, wait, I owe money? That's not part of my fine system, me messing up a joke. It's not. Let's see if I have any today.
What is my fine system?
Everything.
Whenever you get a name wrong, or whenever your tone is bad.
Okay, but I didn't get a name wrong with 100,000 votes. I said $100,000.
Yeah.
He said it's 100,000 votes.
Yeah.
He said that's a fine. He's always hitting me with fines.
Right.
He's trying to disorient me and disrupt the show. I can't work under these conditions.
Right. Well, the process of putting your name to something as an endorsement, that has a name, and that name is votes. And you called it by dollars,
right?
Which is the wrong name for votes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that is some letter of the law stuff.
So it's just $1 fine.
I mean,
right? But if you pay it, we just move on quickly. We don't have to sit here and talk about it, and just while we're at it, $1,052. There's an IOU. I wrote it out for you, so we'll just put it up here and pay it when you can today. Today, COB 1,051. Oh, you put a 20 spot in. Let me take care of that. 1,045, I think. Yep, 1,045. Carry the 3. Yep, $1,045. We'll leave it right there.
I mean, you just spend your entire life irritating me. You come in here every day. You march down here 15 years. I'm trying to get the show off the ground. I'm talking about Jalen Rose's draft day suit. I wanted to talk about this Predator thing that's going to go nowhere. I inexplicably started with Ichiro out of nowhere, blindsiding poor Guillermo.
You want me to start a campaign that he said he wants no part of? Like, he's already said no thank you, that it'll be an embarrassment to the game. And he respects the game.
Did you ask Brinson?
He said no thank you.
I think it's a good idea. And you guys know that I don't take no thank you for an answer.
But it was started by someone else, and they don't want anything to do with it.
But it's a good idea, though. Yes or no? Ichiro, put it on the poll at Lebitard Show. Is it a good idea for Ichiro, as a player who's not in the league, to be in the All-Star home run contest as an honor to him because he's been a symbol for grace for a long time? I'm sorry to get so choked up about that.
Here's the thing about the home run derby, where we could have some wiggle room, is that every year there are participants in the home run derby, or at least lately, that have not been in the All-Star game. So they'll have people who are not All-Stars participating in the home run derby. Now, I believe, and I could be wrong, the way that it works now is the National League selects a captain, the American League selects a captain, and those captains invite people to join the team. So, if we were to get the captain of the American or National League Home Run Derby team on, we could try to convince them to invite Ichiro.
There you go. That's an idea. So that's that's you producing. Look at that. You are a creator of stimulus.
So what do? We get the captain
Nothing.
on?
We march into a wall like we always do. What do you mean, what do we do? What we do is we get behind something, and then all of us stack up into each other, and we end up in a corner, and somebody gets a tuba stuck in a place they didn't want.
I believe the right word there is stimuli. Fine.
Don Lebatard.
Timbo Slice 59 is lighting us up.
Uh-oh.
Listen to Dan Lebatard for about 30 seconds today. Heard him say OBJ is the best wide receiver in football. Instantly turned it off.
He's that guy.
You showed us. Timbo Slice 59.
Stugotz.
Clearly there's so many receivers so much better than Odell Beckham. And your choice is better than mine.
Tone.
No! Oh, that's funny tone. That's not angry tone.
Tone is tone.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Abby, if you're listening, put Emma and Rachel to bed because France and Peru has just kicked off. Well, it's going to kick off. And I'm telling you, at 11 a.m. Eastern, when it kicks off, this is a game where you have to put the kids to bed. So, Abby, 11 a.m., you got about 42 minutes here. I'm telling you. Get the kids to bed.
Where does that saying come from? The put the kids to bed? Is it because parents are going to do naughty time? Like, where does that saying come from?
No kid should see this.
No one should. Yeah.
No, put them to bed
Because it's pornographic.
No. This is
because it's adult.
This is adult. This is violent. This is way too passionate. This is everything's on the table right now.
I feel like the kids can see it.
No. Not France, Peru in the World Cup. Are you kidding me?
Get to your room. Yes. Get to your room.
Can they stay in the room and not sleep? Just be in the room? No TVs.
No. I don't want them. I don't want them aware. Of, My bad. I don't want them aware of what's happening in France, Peru. Put those kids to bed.
Okay. Is DeAndre Ayton a lock as the first pick in this year's NBA draft? Where will EuroLeague star Luka Doncic go?
Man, you asked me before the break how to say the name.
There was a lot of time between.
You were closer the previous time. I gave you the correct name. Doncic.
I mean, is he any good?
He says he's the next LeBron.
Who does? Luka?
Yes, he says he's he's going to be one of the top picks in the draft. Why are you laughing at this? Do you not follow sports at all? Have you stopped following sports?
The only one who knows anything about this guy is Fran Fraschilla. I mean, let's be honest.
And Mina Kimes, she wrote a great article. I'm sure you read it.
All right. I did not. Did she say he's going to be the next LeBron? I'm saying he's not. Find out tonight, beginning at 7 Eastern on most ESPN radio stations and the ESPN app. The Dan Le Batard Show is brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Download the free Vivid Seats app today to get your tickets.
I can't believe that Stugotz, after 20 years, is still hitting this Luka guy.
Yeah.
And then mispronouncing his name, and then you correct him on the name. And whatever, he doesn't deserve for me to know his name. Note. How has he been hitting this note so expertly for 20 years, where he gets it wrong, fouls it up, dismisses or disgraces the person that he has just trampled, giving them no respect, and then says, whatever, that person doesn't deserve for me to know their name.
If he was good enough, I'd know his name. Now, here's the thing. If someone says they're going to be the next LeBron and I say they're not, chances are I'm going to be right.
That's right. Well, this is why you're always the winner around here. This is why you win every argument, because you maneuver in that position. Yes. In 20 years, Stugotz may be wrong about whether this guy is better than LeBron, but nobody will be checking by then. No, we'll all be gone, and Stugotz will have won the argument today because it cannot be proven until 20 years from now.
Let me invoke Pablo Torre for this. Here's the thing. Luka Doncic absolutely deserves for you to know his name. He's a EuroLeague MVP. They don't just give those things away. He did this at 19 years old in a place where 19-year-olds don't play that much. This is pretty unprecedented.
He's cocky, too, Mike. You know how Porzingis came into the league, and and it was funny because he's Latvian, but also educated by World Star. And so it's like weird. It's the 7'3" guy from Latvia, and he's got the spiky hair, and he's coming out, and he's like, wait a minute, he's 7'3". Those guys usually break when they get to the league. And then he starts talking, and you're like, oh, wait, he got Americana in some form. And this guy, did you hear the story about this guy?
Luka?
That he says he wants to own a tiger and that he wants to date Jennifer Aniston. He's consuming Americana from 20 years ago, like Scarface and Jennifer Aniston. Like
he's just getting caught up on Friends.
Yes, he's getting caught up on the generational gap, but he's a little behind.
I mean, it makes Slovenia sound war-torn, and they're just getting Friends on VHS.
But when he says that, it makes it sound like that, doesn't it?
Perhaps he's still watching NBA games from the 80s or 90s thinking he could be the next LeBron. Because I'm telling you, he won't be.
You're going to have to go back earlier than that, too, guys. Try 50s. 40s, maybe.
You're right.
He's EuroLeague. That's the best teams in Europe. It's Champions League for basketball, right? He's doing this at Real Madrid.
Right.
This guy is more battle-tested than anybody else available in the draft.
Do it to the Warriors.
Oh, for the love of God.
I mean, do it in the NBA, man.
Okay, very good. Well, let's let him play an NBA game before we decide that he can't do it in an NBA game, and then decide that we have proof because he has not yet done it in an NBA game that he has not yet played.
Wait, so you could decide he's going to be the next LeBron before he plays an NBA game, but you can't decide he's not going to be the next LeBron before he plays an NBA game.
That is correct. Yeah. That is exactly right. Yes. He can announce himself the next LeBron. We can't check with him either. He's actually the Stugotz of the day saying, I am something today. I'm going to be the next LeBron. You can't disprove me for 20 years right now. You might be able to disprove me in the first game I play, but in the moment in time I exist in right now, you will never be able to disprove me.
Dibs on disproving him. I got him.
I haven't been this excited for European prospects since Mario Hezonja, and I nailed that one.
All right. Speaking of basketball, Mike, Lorenzo point something out to me. I've got yet another failed crusade I wouldn't mind getting behind. Tell me how I can do this. What, Guillermo, you don't think this is a good idea? I like this idea.
It seems very irresponsible if it's what I think it is.
It is super irresponsible. Go ahead and tell the people. Let me just preface this by saying Lorenzo has wonderful ideas that only Dan can afford using his personal funds.
Well, that's the thing. Now, we don't have budget for other things, but I hear what's going on here. Just tell them what this is.
Okay, thank you. I was getting to that, but then you guys stuck your beaks in and started messing around with things.
This made us angry.
Which part? Who are you angry at? Look, I need to explain this.
I'm angry at Charlie.
All right, I need to. Oh, for the love of God.
No idea why.
You guys go so inside with the damn jokes. Yeah. We've got a tension brewing between Miami and Washington, and it's been here for years. We used to be on television with Fusion. Charlie came in as a gung-ho executive. You saw recently everything that happened to him since then. The most recent appearance from Charlie was him falling on an American Ninja Warrior course in a way that made his junk hurt and echoed throughout all of downtown Miami with the gasp of the crowd. Charlie was a big executive here. He is now in Washington with Lorenzo. That is the last anyone heard from Charlie. That's him thinking he was exhorting the crowd for noise, telling the American Ninja crowd that he wanted noise right before he ran across this obstacle. And then when he runs into the third of these obstacles, the sound you will hear is him landing on his junk, the airplane door tilting over, and him very slowly being dropped into a creek. So, Charlie and Lorenzo are in cahoots, and sometimes we work well with them, and sometimes we don't. And Lorenzo's got what I think is a good idea, but Washington is always being undercut by Miami. The good idea, I think, is getting in on this auction to buy the jersey J.R. Smith was wearing the night he forgot the score. We would hang this in our rafters. I want to get in on that auction. I don't want to do it with my money. I want to do it with Disney's money. I want to do it with ESPN's money. Let's get in. What is that being? What is that money going to? This is a good idea. Let me tell you something else Lorenzo said to beef up the feud between these executives that are beefing between Miami and Washington. You know who the highest bidder right now is? Oberman.
It's up to $12K now. This thing is skyrocketing in price. I'm going to tell you a little thing that some real ESPN executives told me when we were planning a parade in Orlando for the national champion UCF Knights.
What do you mean real executives?
Who's paying for this?
Disney. It's just Disney spending $71 million. They want to get this show signed up to a new big contract. They want to sign the show.
That was the budget.
I'd love to see you and Oberman in a bidding war, though. I mean,
but wait, it's got to be me against him?
Are the two of you bidding against each other with Disney's money?
Yeah, kind of.
Oberman more indirectly, I guess.
Right. All right, well, now I want in. Let me figure out how to get me in on this, because now we'll drive the price up. Does it go to a good cause, or is J.R. Smith just going to spend it on Henny?
Don Batard.
Levy from Motorhead with us. What's going on with you these days?
Not much, we just finished the European tour, and we're going out in America, and then we're going out in Europe again.
Stugotz.
And what are those crowds like?
Clouds.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Mike, I can't believe that it's happening this often, and this song here makes me nostalgic. Go ahead. So maybe this is happening because this song, it's just sort of, I find myself getting sad. And so you started with a rejoin of Lemmy from Motorhead, and it made me nostalgic about a different time doing the show. How long ago was that when we weren't doing this television show on ESPN? We were working on Fusion, and we were trying to tape an interview with Lemmy from Motorhead. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen the documentaries on Lemmy's life, but he lived a hard life, just drinking to the very end, sad, a sad, substance-riddled existence.
That was August 11th of 2015.
So I'm getting nostalgic for 3 years ago. So what else do we have from that interview other than, because it was uproariously bad, and it was it was the birthplace of a lot of the nonsense we do around here, where the worse it is, the better it is.
Yeah.
And we did this interview. I just remember doing it, Stugotz, because we were nervous because we had all these camera crews around, and it was a big Fusion television production, and we're taping, at like 7 p.m. at night because we're working after hours.
Yep.
We're interviewing Lemmy from Motorhead on television, and every damn question is a disaster, and every damn answer is a disaster. But it feels like Between Two Ferns with, Zach Galifianakis. It felt like a skit. The worse it was, the better it was. The cameramen were jiggling with laughter just because everything kept going wrong with Lemmy from Motorhead as we tried to do a serious television production.
We really stayed with it, too.
Reed must have talked. Billy, you remember?
We called him back 3 times.
Yeah.
We called him back 3 times. And I don't remember if the call was dropping or if we're just like, okay, Lemmy, we'll talk to you later. And then we just said, let's try to make it work again. 3 times we called Lemmy to make it work.
Did we ever make it work, though?
No.
Kind of, though, because we turned it into this. Using the hard drinking spirit of Lemmy. We turned it into this. Lemmy from Motorhead with us. What's going on with you these days?
Not much, we just finished the European tour. And we're going out in America. And then we're going out in Europe again.
And what are those crowds like?
Crowds,
Lemmy.
That's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it for about 15 minutes. That is it properly condensed. I don't know if we have anything else from the Wayback File. But, Mike, we've got a whole library of crud like that we could revisit.
I think on the third call, he really started to get things together. Lemmy did. No, I'm serious. I remember him being more coherent on that third call. Maybe not.
I don't remember any point.
Hey, really? I'm telling you, he picked up his game, man.
Put it on the poll. Do coherent and Lemmy go together in any sentences, Guillermo?
Hey, I was looking at the SUI nominee folder from that year, and normally we put uncomfortable moments, and they're 30-second clips. This uncomfortable moment's 9 minutes. It's the entire interview.
Well, do you have more?
I need to dig through this.
All right. Well, let's
or
do
you
that.
can re-air it as some sort of odd.
No,
choice.
wait, no. I don't think. I know that Stugotz always going to side with total laziness.
It's a throwback Thursday here on the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
We're all trying to get into vacation. Everybody, hold on. Do you want to do that? I want to do Throwback Thursday. What the hell else are we going to do?
Exactly. Lemmy from Motorhead, please. I'm telling you, it's a great interview. He really picks it up around the 7-minute mark.
No, I think we'd be in trouble if we did it. But Mike, as performance art, it would be great. Now I know we've got Adam Schefter coming up next, but we're doing something serious with him, right? What breaking?
Yeah, it's the NBA draft. He's our NBA insider.
Yep.
It's a huge day on the NBA
Okay, so
calendar.
we can't bump that.
No, not at all.
No.
This is if
me?
you want to talk to Adam Schefter, this is the day. We somehow got him.
Well, but hold on. But wouldn't it be cool? Because I saw you guys were excited about getting Adam Schefter on the NBA on a text string. But if right now I wanted to gong that segment in order of the performance art of playing a 7-minute interview from the late Lemmy from Motorhead that none of us remember the details of just how bad it was, and we just play that live on air so that people can get distorted and confused by that, I think that would be a real performance art situation.
Right. We can't do it after, even though it's taped, and we already have Adam Schefter on his busiest day of the year. After is out of the question.
Well, what do you think the audience wants? Well, you could probably do it your way. That would be the nicer way to do it. But if I could just get 9 of these minutes here, 9 minutes where Stugotz and I can run outside and I can run away before Trevor Price gets here, I would really like that.
clouds.
Crowds, Lemmy.
Clouds.
Don't forget, you can hear more of my sons Dan and Stu weekdays starting at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Everyone in the neighborhood knew about Bobby. Bobby, the basketball boy, they called him. Bobby wanted to go pro someday, so he was always out in the driveway shooting hoops. But one day, his mom came out and told him,
"Hey, your wife wants you to take out the trash?"
His mom was visiting, and Bobby was a grown man. He had kind of missed his window. Plus, no one had ever seen him actually make a basket. But on the other hand, Bobby had heard how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. So, it was all good.
Dan Le Batard.
Stugotz out of control. Yesterday, we're taping the TV show, and me, my father, and Bomani all looked at each other because they tape it through Washington, and Washington was like, "What was that?" And all three of us were like, "Oh, just Stugotz."
Stugotz.
Well, I heard, I think it was a take that Dan gave, and I just screamed out, "Wrong!"
That's right, he did. That's exactly right. He yelled wrong, and everybody stopped and was like, "What was that?" And we were just like, "Yeah, Stugotz."
Yep. I just want to give takes, man.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Small business protection just got easier with more than 30 coverage options available. Progressive has you covered. More ProgressiveCommercial.com. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. It is 11 a.m. I hope everyone put their kids to sleep. To bed. Not to sleep.
What is the saying?
Just put them in bed.
What? Okay, but what is the saying? Is put the kids to bed or put the kids to sleep? I don't think.
Put the kids to bed, man.
Yeah, put the kids to bed.
Because there's something the parents can't have kids see it.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can't have kids seeing this.
This is only for adults.
This game between France and Peru that just kicked off is exactly that. Put your kids to bed.
Yep.
Or if they're in bed, keep them there. You don't want them to see any of this. It's a big game. Peru must win. France can afford to drop some points here. I expect Peru to bring it to the French. French have all the talent in the world, but Peru's got that moxie.
This World Cup date is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Think ahead. Think advance. I don't have a shot here, man. Roy, you knew that, right? When you put this story in here, man.
Of course I did.
Austin Beebens Dirks. Here, Dan, you look at the next name. I have no shot there.
And Isaiah Kiner Falefa?
Careful.
They formed the first battery in Major League history of players with hyphenated last names last night as the Rangers played the Royals.
Baby.
And finally, the hands of Rolling Stone guitarist Keith Richards are insured for $1.6 million. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Like talking to interesting people about interesting things, like talking to the musicians, the artists, and Lemmy is pretty interesting from Motorhead, as Stugotz just said. New album, Bad Magic, comes out August 28th for upcoming tour dates. You want to visit iMotorhead.com. You're getting up there in age for this, Lemmy. You're still going out there on tour, huh?
Apparently.
You've got a defibrillator. You've got one in your chest, and you're still out there motorheading.
I tried it in my head, but it made this lump. I couldn't comb my hair.
I wonder, this is tough, though, right? Like, it's you have not given up your passion for the music just yet, have you?
No, not yet.
When will you? Is there there's no end date on this, huh?
No. I'm going to die doing it.
You are a self-proclaimed anarchist, correct? Can you explain to us what it is that goes into your anarchy?
Nothing. Anarchy is the worship of nothing. Yes.
What's going on?
The worship of nothing.
Worship. Like the judge, when you're in court. Hello?
Lemmy. Yeah, we're here.
Lemmy from Motorhead with us on ESPN Radio. What would you say, Lemmy, is the most difficult thing you've overcome in your journey?
diabetes, but I've overcome it. I've still got it.
What's going on with you these days?
Not much, we just finished the European tour, and we're going out in America, and then we're going out in Europe again.
And what are those crowds like?
Crowds,
Lemmy, the crowds.
Crowds.
People that come to see you.
Oh, they're great, So far, so good.
Lemmy with us from Motorhead on ESPN Radio. So, you were a Jimi Hendrix roadie, huh?
Yeah, about 6 months, 8 months, something like that.
Yeah. What was you're a roadie, and what was give us the strangest thing you had to do for Jimi Hendrix while on the road with Jimi Hendrix?
I used to score acid for him.
You scored acid for Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Can you tell us that story?
No, you just go and get it and bring it back and give it to him. I used to buy him 10, he'd take 7 and give me 3.
In the documentary Live Fast, Die Old, Lemmy, it was revealed that you were drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels a day, correct?
Yeah.
For how long did you do that?
About 10 years.
What was that time in your life like?
I can't remember. I was drinking Jack Daniels all day.
Well played there. Well played.
Okay, fair enough. And how, that had to have been a hugely turbulent time, no?
Yeah, well, most of our career has been pretty turbulent. We haven't been holding back,
Lemmy, I want to go back to acid for a second. When I took acid, I found myself early in the morning drawing animals in the dirt with sticks. Do you have a funny acid story?
Oh, I got lots of them.
Oh, give us one.
Let me think. Oh, yeah, well, there's one. Nah, can't tell you that one.
You can't tell us that one. Why can't you tell Lemmy? Come on.
Hold on. He's going through the Rolodex of his acid stories.
Hold on a second. Lemmy.
I don't have to blacken names, No, I don't know. I used to go for rides on the backs of their bikes and things, I was accepted,
Lemmy, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. New album, Bad Magic, comes out August 28th. For upcoming tour dates, you visit iMotorhead.com. We appreciate your time, Lemmy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lemmy. So many questions to ask. Did you?
You wanted to keep going?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to keep him
You wanted to keep going.
Hey, the guy's never been married. I wanted to talk to him about that.
You feel like we were close to cracking him open?
I feel like we were...
You feel like we were right there, that his soul was about to become unleashed?
Yes. I feel like he was about to give us a pretty good LSD story, and then I think you kind of you scared him away a little bit. Why am I blaming this on you?
I don't know what... How could you blame that on me?
Should we call Lemmy back?
Let's call him back. Let's try again.
Yeah, try him again, guys. I have questions for Lemmy. He hates the dentist, Dan.
Come on, man.
Hold on. We're getting Lemmy back in a minute.
Okay, Lemmy's back on the line now. Lemmy from Motorhead joins us again on ESPN Radio.
Hey, Lemmy.
Hi.
Lemmy, what happened? Why are you scarred? What happened when you were younger at the dentist? I'm interested in this story. What happened to you?
The dentist? Oh, well, nothing happened. I didn't go, because I went to the school dentist and he pulled 10 teeth out with no anesthetic. So I sort of gave up the dentist till I was about 15, and they were all gone by then,
Who was all gone? All the dentists were gone, or all the teeth were gone?
No, the teeth were gone.
You got a good Ozzy Osbourne story for us? You have the party with Ozzy, right? You got a good story there?
No, not really. The only time I ever saw him, he was unconscious.
What is that? There's got to be a story there. What was he unconscious from?
Oh, whatever, he didn't mind.
Right.
It was the same as all of us. We didn't mind in those days.
Understood.
If it fit in your hand and in your mouth, you'd eat it,
Of course.
What's the oddest thing in your apartment, Lemmy? The oddest thing.
The oddest thing.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
All right.
He's going to wander around.
No, because every square inch of his apartment is filled with stuff.
Right.
I've got a lot of weird stuff.
Right.
Maybe, I know, a big, plastic you make with your hands. A Motorhead mask fits on your head. Very nice.
Plastic you make with your hands that fits on your head?
A mask.
Oh, a mask. Okay, a mask.
Yeah.
Motorhead mask.
Yes.
It
New album, Bad Magic, comes out August 28th. For upcoming tour dates, visit iMotorhead.com. Do we have anything else?
No, I think that about covers it.
Okay. Thank you, Lemmy. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Lemmy. Aren't you glad we brought him back? I feel like I have more for Lemmy, actually. More. More.
All right, get him back on the line.
I'd like to have Lemmy again.
Get him back on the line. Go ahead. Call Lemmy again from Motorhead. Let's see here. New album, Bad Magic, comes out August 28th. For upcoming tour dates, you want to visit iMotorhead.com. By the way, staterooms for Motorhead's motorboat are on sale now. If you want more information, you go to MotorheadCruise.com. Lemmy, back with us on ESPN Radio. Go ahead, Stugotz. What else you got for him?
Hey, Lemmy.
Hi.
How are you?
About the same.
Lemmy, do I have this right that you were a panhandler as a kid growing up? Is that correct?
A what?
You were panhandling as a kid?
Not as a kid, no.
No?
It was in my late teens.
Oh. You know what? That's on me. Your name actually, your name comes from being a panhandling youth. It was saying, let me get a quid. No?
That's all fairy tales.
It's all fairy tales, huh?
Yeah.
What's your favorite meal, Lemmy?
Favorite meal? Steak and eggs.
Ah, steak and eggs. Now we're getting somewhere.
All right, let's cut this short. Thank you, Lemmy, for being on with us. We appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Steak and eggs.
All right, man.
Thanks, Lemmy. Steak and eggs, I was getting somewhere.
Dan Le Batard.
Bouquet of gardenias. Hashtag hot hashtag erotica.
Stugotz.
Dimitri, what is bouquet gardenia? I collect the heart, and then I log out, right? Off the Kurt Rambis' account.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Everyone around here gets mad at me correctly because of my need to explain the joke. That the joke should just ride. Let the jokes ride. People will catch up. But we want to be inclusionary around here. We don't want to be exclusionary. We know that when you want sports radio, you want your sports coverage, and we don't give it to you all the time, especially during times in sports where we're not terribly interested. The World Cup right now is the only thing that Mike and Stugotz got going, and I don't think you want Mike and Stugotz doing 4 hours a day of World Cup as your radio show. Mike says he can give you 3 hours if you want it.
Force crazy. 3 hours.
So that's not the show that we do. The show that we do, just so that you know, if you don't know what we are, we're a sports radio show that makes fun of sports radio shows. And the effort there with Lemmy, for those of you who are reacting poorly to it, it is all Andy Kaufman performance art. It's, of course, what the hell are they doing? Why would they do a terrible interview from Lemmy from Motorhead? And it's just playing with the silliness of the construct of what television and radio are, because it is. Isn't that the reason, Mike, that Between Two Ferns works?
Yeah.
Because everyone's in on the joke?
This would be Andy Kaufman if Andy Kaufman took time to explain why he was Andy Kaufman, thus ceasing to be Andy Kaufman.
I know, mother. I'm sorry. All right, I should stop
You're also
doing that.
setting the bar really high with Andy
that's
Kaufman.
Top line.
But for sports, it's not top line, because I'm not doing top line of entertainment. I'm doing bottom line of sports entertainment. What's sports entertainment? It's usually terrible. So within this realm, why can't we be Andy Kaufman? We dreamed once upon a time while doing that Lemmy interview that we were going to be the biggest radio show in America, and poof, here we are.
Exactly. You tell him, Dan.
I mean, why go to Andy Kaufman? Why not go, Onion Sports Dome? Something attainable.
I mean, that's fine, too. Go make it.
Well, they did. It's not a wonder why you forgot about it.
Make it better. So Mike has been, he's just got a giant smile on his face because he apparently likes Throwback Thursday. He was just listening to our most uncomfortable moments from 2017.
Oh, boy.
Just everything, because the worse we are, the better we are. That's the secret. It's the dirty secret. When we're good, we're not very good, but when we're bad, we're great.
We realized we were bad pretty early on.
Yes.
And we said to ourselves, how do we make this good?
Why don't we just keep sinking into every conundrum and doing it publicly, flailing and failing around and fall on our face, and usually Stugotz will pick us back up and we'll get back up, and then we'll just go straight to the cash register, all of us, and keep getting bigger as America clamors to buy our stuff.
I have amassed a supercut, edited down, whittled down from last year's Suey Award category. This will be a nice way to sort of promote that the Suey Awards are indeed coming back in August. We will announce an official date later this month.
You can, this is why I do the ridiculous, silly, stupid Andy Kaufman comparison, because you can make the claim that in the history of sports radio, there's never been anything as addictive as what you're listening to right now.
Damn.
Wow.
You can make it. That's why I'm Mike Francesa in disguise. Secret ego while making fun of Francesa. He is me. I look in the mirror, and what I see is I invented fantasy baseball.
You, my friend, have never been in the jungle.
It's daily fantasy sports. That's what Mike claims that he has invented.
Mike Francesa claims that he's invented daily fantasy sports.
He was just talking about it, and he stumbled upon it, and like a light went off in his head, and he said, hey, daily fantasy sports, 15 years after it was invented. But he is staking his claim to it. I'm proud of him. Stugotz is strong in him.
Hey, Jim, thanks for the vine.
Okay,
so
you know
awesome.
what? You know what? I can now not make that argument because I think you're right. I think I neglected to kiss the ring. Jim Rome absolutely was the place that started. That particular stickiness. It's not about just listening to a sports radio show. It's thinking the people involved. It's the personality. It's not the jungle, but it's whatever this is. It's the shipping container.
When a show develops its own culture, then it can be in that conversation. And, hey, Jim, thanks for the vine because you're performing your show in the jungle, and it starts with Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
That's right.
And the callers and their smack-offs and their tour stops. That was the show that started it all.
And this is the Zag. This is the opposite of that show.
Right.
Like he did radio interviews well. What happened to Lemmy would have never seen the light of day. With Jim Rome, if that had happened with Lemmy from Motorhead, it's not something anyone would have ever aired.
He's never booking Lemmy from Motorhead.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
This show does not exist without that zig. And that's how you did that show really well, really seriously. And this show needed something. This show only exists to counter that sort of culture.
Well, what's fascinating to me about what's happening at ESPN right now is, good Lord, the way that people love writing about this company and turning it into a political pawn in a game of politics when it's a sports company. This got me to thinking about something today because I saw what ESPN used to be once upon a time as a face and a voice. It was jovial Chris Berman, taking you through the highlights, partying with you, the guy at the bar you want to spend time with, analyzing sports. And then what happened? Well, what happened is that Chris Berman and that time in sports became more cynical, and all of us broadcasters who were coming up were, changed by the previous generation.
Oh, man. See if I can find this thing.
Man, I had some good stuff for you guys there.
More on Boomer? I mean,
that is the magic creative content. Whenever it is that the $25,000 pyramid music starts playing, we must respect the magic creative content and whatever question it produces.
I have rummaged. Here is your question.
All right. Thank you. I'm not sure. Why did Mike do that? Because he doesn't want me talking about ESPN? Or because
the creative content, it just happens. And also we have Adam Schefter coming up next to talk about the NBA draft, his expertise. We'll get back to that other stuff.
One dessert for the rest of your life. One dessert for the rest of your life. What are you choosing?
Wow, this is an incredible question from the Magic Crate.
One dessert the rest of my life. Yes, you go first.
I'd like to go with creme brulee for me.
Really?
I like creme brulee.
The rest of your life, though?
Wait, I'd like to change. Creme brulee is good, but not as good as Publix birthday cake.
But can I sneak in here by just choosing ice cream? If I don't take a flavor, then I can get them all.
No, you got to give us a flavor, a brand. Yeah.
No. Can I go brownie with vanilla ice cream?
No.
That's one dessert.
That is a dessert.
But can you do a banana split?
No,
can you do banana split?
That's a dessert.
If you allow brownie, you got to allow banana. If you allow banana, you got to allow brownie.
Right.
You want a brownie sundae? That's what you're saying?
Warm brownie, vanilla ice cream.
It's pretty good.
Better.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Good combination.
So for clarification, this is just when you're in the mood for dessert. This is the only dessert you can choose. Not this is the only meal you can have.
No, that's not the thing you can have for the rest of your life. You'll get sick of it inside of a month. No. Why must you ruin these things? $2, get out of here.
Don Batard.
See how quick he is at slithering around things?
Good.
Like, yeah, you are good. You are a master liar.
Stugotz.
Like you are a genius liar. You are like the Einstein of liars.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Adam Schefter going to join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Very busy time for him. NBA draft is tonight. He'll take your phone call, 786-456-4837. That's 786-456-4837. Want to go to the 2018 ESPYs? How about going as the guest of this year's host, Danica Patrick? Make a donation to the V Foundation for Cancer Research, and you can win a VIP ESPYs trip and the chance to meet Danica Patrick at a rehearsal before the show. Go to ebay.com/ESPN to donate for your chance to win. For official rules, go to ebay.com/ESPN. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Grizzlies are shopping their 4th overall pick and Chandler Parsons. Manchester United have confirmed the signing of Brazil international midfielder Fred. It's a soccer name I could say. And does Fred have a last name? They just signed a guy named Fred?
That can't go well, right? That's not exactly signing Zinedine Zidane.
If I say the name of the team, will people know who Fred is?
Fred.
I'm just leaving it at Fred. I'm sorry. And finally, thanks to the World Cup, there is a CO2 shortage in Europe. CO2 is used to pump gas into beers, which means thanks to the World Cup, Europe is running out of beer. Funny. Guys, you
funny
know me.
Till it's you, Stugotz.
Until I run out of beer?
Funny until it's your country.
Yeah, man, I hope those kids are in bed right now because that was just an incredible save in this France-Peru game.
Oh, my God.
Whoa.
That's not an incredible save.
One-handed left hand on a heel kick goal of some sort.
It wasn't a goal. That's a fun.
A goal attempt.
Yep.
Would have been a goal if the goalie hadn't made a great save.
I'll let you off.
I now understand why you put the kids to bed.
Yep. Guys, you know me. I like to be in the action. If you need tickets to the game or your favorite band, look no further than Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Vivid Seats has options to fit your needs. Make sure you get to vividseats.com/ESPN today for an exclusive discount offer. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Man, I hope those kids are in bed, man. I hope those kids are in bed.
They didn't see that. They didn't see that.
Thank
Mike.
God.
No, they didn't see that. Oh! Put the kids to bed, people.
Oh.
France. 1 goal. So we go now to our basketball expert. Very busy time. Adam Schefter's great at this. We're going to mow through calls with Adam Schefter. The telephone number 786-456-4837.
Seems like Peru could use Fred.
786-456-4837. What is a better sports name, Adam Schefter? Is it Peerless Price or Zinedine Zidane? If I just tell you, you have no other information other than the name of the athlete. If I tell you one is named Zinedine Zidane and one is named Peerless Price, who are you drafting?
Zinedine Zidane is so exotic. You have to go with that, Dan.
Now let me throw in Fred.
Okay, now we've got 3 of them. Zinedine Zidane, Peerless Price, and Fred. Does Fred change your mind?
No, Fred does not. I cannot go away from Zinedine Zidane. I mean, that is just, it rolls off your tongue. It sounds exotic. It sounds foreign. It sounds like somebody you want on your roster.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please. Better sports name, Peerless Price or Zinedine Zidane. Adam Schefter's one of our favorites. He's great at this. We love that he takes your calls and he knows his stuff. So 786-456-4837 is the telephone number. Are you draft prepped and ready? Like, can we go through Europe with you and stuff, Adam, or is that...
You guys said it best. This is my busiest day of the year. The calls just keep coming in from agents, GMs, wanting to know how the mock drafts are going to go tonight, and I'm ready to rock and roll for the draft coverage tonight on ESPN.
All right. 786-456-4837 is the telephone number.
Let's mock and roll.
All right. Mock and roll, baby. Does that mean we should play the music?
Oh,
should
we
it be
have to.
mock and roll? Give them the mock and roll burning through calls music. 786-456-4837.
Now, Schefter will tell you, we tried this once. You were not here, Dan, without the music, and because Schefter thought the music perhaps ruined it, all right, the speed at which we do it. And then Schefter was like, whoa, I'm coming back for a second segment. Right, we need the music. I mean, you can't do the segment without the music.
Let's do it with the music. Get the calls in here right now, people. Schefter is the best.
Time to go through some colors. More. Colors. We're going to mow through those colors like there is nobody business. Mow your boat. That doesn't make sense. Mowing through colors, buddy.
Hey, here's the key. And Adam, you know this. The callers, they need to be fast. Schefter, you need to be faster.
That's right. That's
you need
right.
to be faster.
I know.
Yeah, Schefter knows. He knows the game, man. All right.
Sure.
We start slow, though. We start easy. Mark, you're on with Adam Schefter. Begin us mowing down callers.
Mo.
Come on, Mark.
Hello.
Mark, Mo.
All right, come on, Mark. Why are you making him Mo? Mark, Mo.
What happened to Derrick Rose?
An afterthought at this point, no matter what. Why are you even asking about Derrick Rose?
Wow, doesn't even have time for your question. His knowledge is so efficient. Get out of here. Doesn't even have time for your question. It's such a bad question. Dylan, you're on with Adam Schefter, NBA expert. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, what's going on? Big fan. I was just wondering, do you think if Kawhi Leonard went to the Celtics and they were fully healthy, that they could beat the Warriors fully healthy in the finals?
But he's not going to the Celtics, so it's a moot point, and I don't think they'd beat the Warriors even with Kawhi. Next question.
Whoa! We got to go faster, man. We got to go faster. What do the callers not understand about faster? No, how you doing?
Callers, fast. Schefter, faster. You hear what he just said, though? Guys, you hear it? Kawhi Leonard is not going to the Celtics. That's what Adam Schefter just said.
Flatly
not going to the Celtics.
Schefter, are you sure about that? You're reporting that?
And even if they did,
No, I'm not reporting that. I just don't believe that's where they're trading him.
All right, and even if they did, he's saying still not enough to beat the Warriors.
All right, very
Correct.
good.
How about that?
All right, we're speeding up here. Hold on a second. I got a cookie on my computer here. An actual cookie. It just pop up. Matt, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, what the hell is going on in Charlotte?
That's out. Yeah, Charlotte.
I don't understand that trade, right? You give away a productive center for 2 second-round draft picks. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Take on Timothy Mozgov. I can't answer that question because I don't know myself.
Oh, there you go. So befuddling that not even the experts can answer it.
I'm sure he was getting to it, but Mitch Kupchak probably doesn't like Dwight because of his experience in Los Angeles. I'm sure that's what Adam was getting to.
Right, that's why they sent him to the Nets. What do you think of what the Nets are doing?
They're on the 20-year rebuilding plan, and they have some nice people in place, but it is a long ways away from having any hope there in Brooklyn.
Cody, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go, Cody.
Hey, LeBron James for the Utah Jazz, enough to beat the Warriors?
Well, yeah, probably, but he ain't going to Utah. Why is LeBron James going to Utah? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they would have enough to play with. By the way, the Jazz can play with the Warriors now. They got LeBron that will put them over the edge, but it ain't happening, so it's a moot point.
If you're listening, Adam Schefter, ESPN's NBA expert, has ruled out the Utah Jazz.
Has he ruled? He's ruled out the Utah Jazz.
He's right. I mean, why would LeBron go to Utah?
Notarize it. Adrian, you're on with Adam Schefter. Adrian, go ahead.
Schefter, can Bam be the starter for the Miami Heat?
Oh, Bam.
Didn't give him enough playing time last year. Was productive when he played. Bam Adebayo, right? Am I saying that right,
yes,
guys?
Yes, close enough. Yes, close enough.
He should be starting.
Adebayo were those linebacker brothers. Those guys. That's
he should be getting more play time. Get him more PT.
What about Hassan Whiteside? Is his day in the NBA done?
It's not done, but it seemed like they were just not on the same wavelength last year. And I really like him as a player. I don't think he's done it all, Dan. They just got to get connected those two parties and get him back to playing the way he was, because he was a tremendous dominant center when he was healthy.
Faster. Dylan, you're on with Adam Schefter. Go, Dylan. Go, Dylan.
Meatloaf or lasagna?
Meatloaf or lasagna? Faster, Schefter.
Lasagna.
Tony, you're on with Schefter. Faster. Tony, you're on with Schefter.
Pacers, next step, trades, free agency.
Pacers, break it down. Mow it down.
Pacers.
Well, you just got to have confidence in the front office that last year made the moves that it did for Sabonis and Oladipo. Indiana's a team to watch.
Faster! Dirk, you're on with Schefter. Go, Dirk, faster. It's moving fast for all of us.
Are the Timberwolves LeBron James away from making the Western Conference?
T-Wolves and LeBron, finals, yes or no?
It's going so fast I can't even hear it now.
Answer the question.
He's not going to Minnesota.
T-Wolf to LeBron. Never mind. We got to move. Wes, you're on with Adam Schefter.
Okay,
Keep it moving. Go ahead, Wes.
Question.
Wes, what do you got for Schefter?
Doncic, where's he going? How's his career going to go?
Faster!
I think he should go number one tonight. Teams are going to make a mistake.
This isn't fast enough, Christian! You guys are going to kill us all if you don't make it go faster! Christian, you're on with Adam Schefter! Go faster!
LeVar Ball invites you to dinner. Your answer.
LeVar Ball invites you to dinner. We're going to crash into a mountain. What is your answer? Yes or no?
I can't even hear the question.
More money, more problems.
I just want to recap. That went very fast. LeBron not going to Utah. LeBron not going to Minnesota. Kawhi Leonard not going to Boston. Even if he did, not enough to beat Golden State.
The Adam Schefter podcast with new episodes weekly. You're going to want to check out his interview with Woj. We really do love Schefter around here. Listen on the ESPN app or Apple Podcasts. You check out his interview with Woj, the Adam Schefter podcast with new episodes weekly.
Catch more of the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz, 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Dan Le Batard.
Fake Marty Smith, you're on ESPN Radio.
Stugotz.
Hey, Benno! It's Marty Party! What are you guys doing? Hey, Stu!
Hey, Marty!
Yeah. Hey, guys, hey! I just parachuted out of a plane, man, and in Tuscaloosa. Tuscaloosa just got down here. I'm with Nick Saban, man!
Yeah,
we're about to go bass fishing on some jet skis!
Yeah, that's great.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
When we are really good, we are really mediocre to below average. When we are really bad, we are better. We like to sink into our uncomfortable moments. And Mike has been smiling for the last 45 minutes just listening to the batch from last year. So without further ado, because we don't mind being terrible at this, here are the prize uncomfortable moments from 2017.
Stugotz asked John Lovitz if he's okay.
It was supposed to be us from the beginning. And then the script really wasn't very good. And the president of production said, why don't we do it with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence?
You okay, John?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was going to ask that. Is everything okay?
Oh, cough. No, I have allergies, so it makes me cough.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
If I told John Lovitz he had to put together a Mount Rushmore of Saturday Night Live, people in the history of Saturday Night Live, but you can only pick 4 of them. You're only allowed 4. Who are the 4 you're picking?
You okay?
Well, I always pick. Yes, I'm okay. I would always pick the. I told you I got like the allergies.
No, I know. I'm just making sure you're okay.
I always pick the original. Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah, you okay? You okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. How about you?
I'm fine.
Thanks for your concern.
We've
never met.
Thanks for yours.
I've never had anyone I've never met this concerned over me and my health, so I appreciate it.
Okay, man, I'm a big fan, man. I'm concerned about you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, as long as you're okay.
I'm good. You okay?
I do appreciate being on the show, and I'm glad you're okay.
It's funny, John.
No, I'm not okay.
Finally, man.
What's the difference? I'm doing the interview, whether I'm okay or not.
Right.
Who gives a crap?
All right. So you're picking. You're picking.
You don't care how I'm doing anyway. What the hell are you asking me for? You don't really care.
It's so true.
You don't even know me.
It's so true. He doesn't. I love that he can spot your insincerity. I know. I love that you can spot his insincerity because you're so right, John. He doesn't care at all. He's asking you if you're okay.
No, he doesn't. He works with you every day. You think he gives a crap about you?
No.
As long as you pay him.
Yeah.
What are you allergic to?
This guy. No, I'm kidding.
Stugotz?
Same thing as everyone. Dust.
You okay?
Why are you someplace that's so dusty, John?
It's not.
Diamond Dallas Page gets mad at Dan.
Scotty Snyder, I was just with him up in...
Who tried to rip whose eyes out there? Somebody tried to rip somebody's eyes out there.
You can't rip me up, dude.
Did you try to tear out his eyes, or did he try...
Yo, monkey, who the hell do you think you're talking to?
He tried to tear out your eyes.
Monkey, who the hell do you think you're talking to? I'm positively Paige. Do you think I'm going to flame your garbage so you can scream? Right here. You.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Saved by the Bell star Mark Paul Gosselaar put Stugotz on the spot.
When people talk about the funny thing is, I don't remember. Like, Stu, what's your favorite episode?
Oh, wow. I mean, there's so many. This is a tough one. Because
give me a highlights of stuff that you.
Are you kidding me? You don't have anything for him?
Well, I'm trying to think of one. I'm trying to think of a highlight here. There was one where you and Mario Lopez were I believe you were competing for, and I can't remember her name.
Every episode.
No.
Come on, man! I'm so excited.
No.
They go to Hawaii.
No, not that one. They're competing, and there's nearly a fight in the cafe where they hang out. They're competing for the girl. What's her name? Amber Thiessen?
You don't even know Kelly Kapowski's name.
Yes, that's the one.
You are such a fraud.
Are you a Saved by the Bell fraud?
No, I'm not. I mean, it's tough to remember. And Zach put me on the spot there, Zach. Mark really put me on the spot there, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. But do you remember the one I'm talking about, where you're competing for her and you guys almost got in a fight?
That was every episode. How am I supposed to remember that?
I mean, he's so right.
Dan awkwardly supports LeVar Ball.
Another guy writes in, can you kiss LeVar Big Ballers bleep anymore? He's a loudmouth idiot living life through his son.
Don't dare us to kiss his bleep some more, because we will.
We'll wash his balls. I don't think I did that right.
No.
I did that wrong.
I think you veiled it, right? That was subtle enough.
I mean, you would clobber me over that.
Did you do that?
Someone like you. Someone like you.
What I did there, if you really want to classify it, is identified as I made a mistake.
When did you know that you had made a mistake?
I did. Well, I would say that somewhere where it went, I would say right around where I got the looks of horror. I would say that's when I realized it. It felt wrong coming out of my mouth. Let me rephrase that. It felt wrong when I said it.
Dan says inappropriate things.
I'm with Rohan Marley, and he and I hugged vigorously upon seeing each other because it's been a long time since we saw each other. And then right next to him, my eyes scan over, and I'm happy to see someone else. And I've had too much to drink at this point, but I'm also just fingering. What the hell word was I trying to say there? I'm just remembering my lingering. Lingering is the word I was looking for. My lingering hug with.
It is an awkward hug.
Yeah.
Well, and now the story gets good. And I'm very happy to see Edger and James. And so now I'm explaining to them in his company by holding up next to his face my phone with a magazine article I wrote about him next to his face. And it's got a happy ending. Well, that's not the phrase I should use either.
Geez, God, man. Jeez.
The story has a
uh-huh.
The story's got a good ending.
Billy Ray Cyrus eulogizes John Sanders.
Well, I think more what I wasn't ready for was the news that you just broke about John Saunders. I'm a huge fan. And quite frankly, I was so excited. I'm sitting here in a studio and I seen your name coming up, and I'm like, man, I love this guy. I love the show. I listen to you on the radio. I love the TV show when you're with your dad and the whole thing. But when you said John Saunders, my heart fell to the floor. And now, quite frankly, I can't even move to the other stuff because I love John Saunders.
Billy Ray, let's do this, okay? Because I've already made this clunky and awkward enough. Let's reschedule with this, and let's. I do want to talk to you. Let's talk another time. Let's talk later this week, or when we don't have this in the middle of our conversation. Is that all right? Can we do that?
What I'd rather do is you just keep what I just said, and that's. I think we just did the interview, and I quite frankly, sure, I'll come back anytime. I'll talk with you guys anytime, but please keep my tribute to John Saunders.
All right, there you go. Billy Ray Cyrus, the season 1 finale of Still the King airs this Sunday, 9 p.m. Central. You can also get his new album, Thin Line, September 9th. And I'm sorry, I am someone who will laugh at the eulogy, laugh at the wake. That's one of the most awkward things we've ever done as a radio show, all of it right there.
Yep.
Okay? And
that's saying a lot.
And I'll tell you, as a friend of John Saunders, he would want me to laugh at that because that was absurd. Everything that just happened there. All of it. Like just the starting point. I mean, the start.
All of it. Yes,
all of it. I've got tears in my eyes. I'm watching the television. I don't think that's ever happened to me before while doing the show where we get a bit of news that comes through that is heartbreaking.
NBA journeyman and fill-in host Ryan Hollins as actor Josh Duhamel. If the Transformer movies are racist.
Josh, you're going to have to forgive me for this because this hurt my feelings as a real fan, and I know that it wasn't meant to be taken in this way, but I felt like in the Transformers before, there were some robots that, as an African-American male, I felt said some taken as racist and edgy things or just the way that they spoke. Maybe can you break that down? I'm sure you've heard about it too or had some, possibly some small backlash from it.
Oh, come on, man. I mean, we're talking about robots. How could we possibly make this racist?
What I'm saying is every robot, every character depicts something or somebody, or what? Even the hit, the way it was taken.
I understand. I do understand what you're saying. And yeah, there's that's a question for Michael. I think that, there are certain sort of inflections and certain voices and whatever that could have been taken as, okay, now you're generalizing.
Yeah.
So I understand that, but I don't think it was ever meant to be taken personally or anything like that, but I'm sorry if you're offended.
Dan asked Craig Robinson if it's height.
Are you distracted? Because this happens sometimes with you when you come on with us. I feel like you've got a little bit of ADD. During radio interviews, maybe only. Are you distracted? What's happening? Are you doing that Pineapple Express thing where sometimes you float off because you're smoking that Chiba?
No, I'm not distracted.
Okay, very good.
Stugotz talks into Michelle Biddle's chest.
I was gotta say it. That'd be downer to end. Oh, no. Why are you in here? Why are you in here?
I'm tired of my islands. I need a microphone. I want to rank quarterbacks.
This is inappropriate. HR. You can't talk into a woman's chest, Stugotz.
The entire Christopher Guest interview.
Do you view that as the work that is your favorite, or is it the one that most people cite as their favorite, if you're not willing to answer that question?
Oh, I mean, I've worked for a long time, and people like different things, and that's fine. People say they like Best in Show, or they like Waiting for Kaufman, and that's fine. Whatever. I can't control that, so that's cool.
How about you, though? Which one do you feel?
Oh, I couldn't say. That's a weird choice. That's a strange choice. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to say. Clearly.
Okay. Christopher, I know what to say. How about we end this? Okay, good? We're good? We should probably end this, right? Because it doesn't seem like he wants to do it. No,
Which? Keep going.
I mean, are you sure? You want to do this or not?
Well, which are we doing?
This interview.
Oh, I love the interview.
Okay.
I mean, I can make stuff up, but I don't know what to say to a question that is about which of my things I like. I could make it up, but it's hard to pick. I've done a few things, and it's hard to pick one that I like the best. I'd like to go back to the Dylan thing. I think I personally would have been offended
Christopher, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you. Let's wrap this up. All right. Good talking to you.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Why do you and Chris love so much the blackjack dealer that I did there?
It's just a weird go-to move for you when you dismiss a guest.
I'm just done with you, guest. When I literally dismiss someone named guest.
That's you pulling the parachute.
Yeah, awkwardly, as always. Advance Auto Parts going on a road trip this weekend. Better pop into Advance Auto Parts first. Make sure your car is running right before you head off on a big trip. That Billy Ray Cyrus sound is amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing in its discomfort. You guys just keep that in the capsule. That's the eulogy of John Saunders. It's the last thing that needs to be said on this subject, and then we never speak to him again. I mean, maybe something weirder has happened on this show, but I defy you to come up with it. Advance Auto Parts.
Lemmy?
No, I dispute that. Guillermo, put it on the poll. What's crazier, the Lemmy interview or everything that happened with Billy Ray Cyrus?
Don Batard.
Deion Sanders is the best to ever do it. I think we've talked to you before briefly. I don't know how. At one point, you had gone public saying you had a sex addiction, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
Stugotz.
Oh, that wasn't me. That was another guy. Ain't no sex addiction. I love sex just as much as you love sex. Ain't no addiction. You know, I'm a sexaholic or something. You try to get a confession out of me.
I feel like I've talked to you about that before.
No, that wasn't me. That was the other Sanders. That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
This is the Don Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
We have the most fun around here when there's nothing going on that's important to talk about. But that does not stand for the entirety of the network because we have to get something off the ground every day. Even if in June there's not very much in sports to talk about, even if the American public doesn't necessarily care about the World Cup, we've got to talk about something. And so at the bottom of this ship, toiling in a brewer's hat, Executive Chuck Solitoro still keeping this whole thing afloat for Disney so that we can make $71 billion or whatever, or spend $71 billion. He's firing off email after email about the things that coaches are saying on Get Up. It's just because we got to keep it. Got to keep the whole machine afloat.
He keeps sending him out his news. I keep responding. This is not newsworthy.
Well, we've got a tension that's developing with Executive Chuck Solitoro, who continues to he tries to give us this information that Get Up is doing, and Stugotz, if Stugotz isn't finding it useful, it's not useful.
It's a segment they should call the most obvious things ever said in the history of sports. That's what I would call it. Here's what happened today on Get Up. Jay Wright has considered the NBA, but he has no plans to leave his current situation. Oh. Yeah.
Not considering the NBA. He has considered it. There was a time he walked home from the facility and he's like, that's Sixers' job. Joel Embiid stays healthy. I'd consider that. And then he just kept walking and never thought of it again.
That's news. That's like a 4. A 4.
It's a 4?
Out of 5.
But when I lob in the fact that he has no plans to leave his current situation, it goes from a 4 to a what?
4.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah. All right. John Calipari, one and done. It appears that it's going to be going away. John Calipari said he's not happy about that.
Wow. That's a 3.
Okay.
3.
Wait, how is that a 3?
That's a 3.
But how is that a 3?
That's a 3 next. Yeah.
All right. Trae Young said he is not sick of being compared to Steph Curry.
Wow.
Ooh. It's a good comparison, actually.
9. Not sick of it?
Why would you get sick of it?
The comparison is news. Him not being sick of the comparisons is what they're claiming is news today.
Wow. 3.6.
He will one day.
But wait a minute. It would also be news if he is sick of it.
Yes.
He's not sick of it. That's news, right. But it's also news that he is sick of it.
Either way, it's news.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So 3.62 from...
What are you not understanding, Dan? I'm sorry. It's so simple.
And here's the last one, guys. I'd be interested on your judgment here. David Robinson, the Admiral.
Ooh. So far, so good. We're at a 4 right now.
He said the Spurs...
Yeah.
4.5.
Going up.
They still want...
Ooh, yeah. 4.7.
Oh, it's shaking around here.
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, most obvious thing ever said. Whoa, 5.
Get me audio.
Yeah.
Get that audio immediately. Send it across the networks. Try not to scald the eyebrows under the Brewers cap of Chuck Solitaro.
Get up.
Why are we being sent these things? These are not the things we wish to talk about. Yeah, the draft is tonight. This isn't where you're coming to get your information. We just had Adam Schefter on breaking it down.
So this is where you come to get your information.
You should go over there if you want your information. Go to Get Up if you want Jay Wright, what Jay Wright thinks.
Well, what are you going to do when Get Up is over? You got to get down.
That's what we should be. We should be the show after Get Up with Get Down. Yeah, let's do that. Mike, put it in play. Put it on the network tomorrow. Thank you.
Dan Le Batard.
You're a record-setting liar.
Stugotz.
We need to get Guinness up here to measure who's I mean, he's not the best liar. He's the worst liar. But in terms of volume of lies, he's kind of Hank Aaron.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
Mike, I've got a problem on my hands. I need help. I need the help of the shipping container, okay? The show is moving very fast, even though nothing is going on. Yeah. It seems like it's slow. It's not slow. So, Mike has been wanting me to get, for 4 segments, to talking about the movie, the remake, Predator. We want to do something big.
Not a remake, it's a reimagining, and it exists within the same universe that the first two did.
Fine.
Keegan-Michael Key is one of the stars. He was very excited to talk to us about it yesterday. I want to talk about this Predator movie every day. I want to build it up every day. I want locally for this to be a big Miami event that celebrates our show and our show's relationship with that movie, because we've been obsessing over that movie. It's just that movie and Scarface, right? In the history of our show, the 2 movies that have captured us, where we talk to all the guests. You know what? Rocky did the same thing. Rocky did too.
And Tango and Cash.
No, that was just for you.
I would say Point Break is also in that discussion.
Die Hard.
No, I'm talking about
Demolition Man.
You guys aren't listening to me now.
Face Off.
I'm talking about these movies we've become obsessed with.
Air.
All the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Not all the
anything Nicolas Cage has ever been in ever.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, I want to get to this Predator stuff, but you guys are playing defense against
Fargo
everything.
lately.
Let me explain to you how you're playing defense against it.
Titanic.
Guillermo's coming around, and he's showing me what he's doing as part of his Lewis Brinson campaign, because he wants to talk about that on the air, and it's pathetic. So give him 15 seconds right now of what it is you've been doing as part of this failed campaign of yours to get Lewis Brinson into the All-Star game.
So every day I've been going on while HQ is happening, and I've been writing myself in the comments, vote for Lewis Brinson, hoping that one day it'll catch on and other people will do it. And I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 days, and finally yesterday someone did it, and it was a great moment for the show.
HQ the trivia app?
Yeah, HQ the trivia app. So you just go on, you just type in vote for Lewis Brinson.
Nice.
The thing is that, Dan, you've never played before, but if you've played it before, you'll know the comments are so fast that you need to just quickly see it.
Okay, but that's not useful to me, because Mike's trying to get me to talk about Predator, and you come in and bump into me that way. But this is the way Stugotz bumps into me.
We've been offered the director of Predator.
The director of Predator. We've been offered him as the start of this quest. But hold on, before I get to that, I'm trying to get to that. And you know what Stugotz does? He bumps into my armpit with this. Dan, what do you imagine the Vlade Divac draft room smells like?
Looks like, smells like, I mean, all of it. You guys got any suggestions?
Yeah, there was this place called Dania Highlight that was really popping in the 80s in Miami. Not a lot of you might even know what Highlight is. But anyway, the entire place smelled like cigarettes, which was kind of weird.
Cigarettes and leprosy.
Right. But it was weird because the entire place smelled like cigarettes, but there was only one designated room where you could go smoke cigarettes.
That's where the lepers were.
And you couldn't even see through that room from one end to the other.
It was smoky, and nobody was smoking in it. It was just smoking from previous haunted smokes.
King throwing out a lot of smoke screens.
Oh, no! What do you imagine the Vlade Divac room? I mean, we've got it smelling like cigarettes. The first time we ever played that game, I think the Looks Like game might have started with Vlade Divac, and the reference of Vlade Divac looks like he smells like cigarettes, which is basically just something that we do to all the European players. But him mostly, because he should have played entire games with a cigarette hanging from his lip.
Right. I imagine some sort of like half unwrapped deli sandwich on the desk right next to the ashtray as he's smoking cigarettes, something like that.
Who's there? It's like a bunch of Serbians and Tony Saragusa.
So what do we want? John McTiernan, the director of Predator, in studio? Did we want him daily? Did we want him weekly? Do we want him just one big appearance?
I want Keegan-Michael Key daily or weekly. That's the guy. He's starring in Predator, correct? Which role is he playing in Predator?
That's off the table. This is who you can have.
Wait a minute. What do you mean
you can
that's
have
off
John
the table?
McTiernan.
Look, let's go back a second. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's discuss this.
Ooh, he also directed Last Action Hero, Die Hard with a Vengeance, The Hunt for Red October, and The Thomas Crown Affair.
Big time.
Trevor Price is wandering around out here. Can we find out something to do with him in a second?
You want to ask him about Predator?
Well, I guess that's one way to use him. But what if he doesn't know anything about Predator? You want to
find out first.
All right,
find out.
But
If he
hold
doesn't,
on.
we say thank you for your time.
A lot going on. I got a headache, man.
So do I. All right, that's fine, Mike. Go get Trevor Price. He's wandering around here, and hopefully he's seen the Predator movies. What do we want to tell people about Trevor Price? That he was a menacing man, right? Mike's going to meet him right now. He's a giant human being who would get into your backfield, and you should be scared of him. He was more man than most men.
Trevor Price, surprisingly, when I looked it up this morning, had a much better career than I think people actually know of. He had 91 career sacks. He made 4 Pro Bowls. He's won 2 Super Bowls. I mean, this is a very talented guy. I would dare say a borderline Hall of Famer.
Okay, I think that's probably excessive.
Trevor Price, I think you're a borderline Hall of Famer. 91 sacks, man. That's pretty close.
What's borderline? What does that mean? Either you are or you aren't. What the hell is that, Stu?
Listen,
nice to meet you, by the way.
It's very nice to meet you. I'm not prepared to put you in the Hall of Fame yet, but I might be prepared here. Trevor, hold on a second.
That would have been funny if you had just done that, and then we had to wonder.
I was about to, but my daughter said I can't. The bad example.
I
would have
wish
been
you
awful.
had done that, and then we all would have wondered if you were scared, if you were waiting for us in the hallway.
Right, I'm waiting downstairs, Stu.
Oh, no, what have I done?
Yeah, what have you done?
Wait, do you think you're a Hall of Famer?
That's not for me to answer, man. I don't have a vote.
But he doesn't like that you're taking it.
They're right.
I don't have a vote either. What I'm saying is I'm trying to tell the people who are voters, take a look at these stats because you might be a Hall of Famer.
Guillermo, tell me I'm not wrong about this. Can you imagine what Stugotz would be like if J.J. Watt were here or Kevin Durant were here, given the way he's behaving around Trevor Price when he just called him to his face on sports radio, a borderline Hall of Famer?
A borderline Hall of Famer? Like, Stugotz, you're either black or you're not. You know what I mean? There's no in between.
Listen, all I'm saying is, I don't think people realize how good of a player you are. I don't have a vote, so I'm telling the people who have a vote, hey, take a look at Trevor.
That's called a save. I like it. I do like it.
Trevor,
wonderful.
Thank you. He totally meant that as a compliment. It's the highest compliment he could give. You might even be better than...
I'll take it as he stabs me in my back with his knife. Thank you, Stu. You're the best.
That's what it looks like. You are so fortunate there is...
a glass between us. No, I'm not a violent guy.
You're good as the character.
My daughter's over there with her phone like, what the hell is going on?
That's right.
Look, and they're making her listen. Look, she's like horrified at all this.
Well, you want to teach her about those Predator movies? Did you love those? Are they your age group?
Yes, they are my age. I think the first Predator was the only Predator worth seeing. Now, the new one with this new hyper Predator that's supposed to be 8 feet tall and then it beats up the other ones. Here's the problem with Hollywood. Like, I work in Hollywood some way, right? In a roundabout way. Not a roundabout. I work in Hollywood, right? And what has happened
is Trevor.
I was trying not to say I have a TV show coming out in Disney in 2 years. But what I'm saying is the Predator thing.
Hold on,
run out of ideas.
Stugotz has got a joke that he wants to get in here. Hold on just a second.
Let it roll.
I mean, it's not a joke if we do it like that.
It's not funny, Stugotz.
Borderline Hollywood famer or something like that.
If he had hit you with that,
I work in Hollywood.
He would have disoriented you if he had said that. Borderline Hollywood famer.
Borderline
Hollywood famer.
Anyway, you got a TV show going on.
I got a TV show coming up, but that's not the point. The point is, we've gotten to the point now in Hollywood where there is nothing left to do except for redo the old things and try to find different ways to do them. The problem is, it's like making movies for video games. There's no story in Predator except for Arnold Schwarzenegger laying there. Come and get me, you bleep 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 bleep.
Right.
That's really right. He can't. We're going for that. We would go
kill me.
Right. We would go see. We're here to go to see the 3 dots in his head. Other than that, I don't care. Yeah. That's kind of the way it works.
Okay, but what do young people need to learn about the original Predator, that time period, and why it is that you and your time period are better than his or her time period?
Because it was an original idea back then. It's not an original idea now.
There you go. That's right.
It's actually an awful idea now. If I said, hey, look, guys, I got an idea. We are going to go make a movie about a alien hunting humans in the jungle. Boom. 15 million, 35 million, 100 million. You know, that's a stupid friggin' idea. A lot of them are, man. I'm telling you, dude. I keep reading these updates.
Stugotz can't wait for the Creed movie.
Can't wait. Yeah,
okay, but how on the nose is that? He's fighting Drago's son. Come on, man.
But you
come on, man.
What do you mean, no new idea?
No, come on, man.
What do you mean?
If you can't find a new Russian? Does it have to be Drago?
It has to be Drago. I'm not interested in any other Russian. It has to be Drago.
Look at me.
This is generational.
This is called, when they do this, it's called on the nose. It's a little too much. They're both the same age, and they turn around, the kid says the thing has Drago in the back. Wait, have you seen the kid that's playing Drago?
Yes, but Trevor, Drago killed his dad.
I understand that.
Someone's got to get revenge. And it's going to be Creed's son.
Listen, right. But is it like that's what we came up with. We're going to come up with, a Frago. We're going to come up with Mago.
If there was another Russian who killed his dad, then I'd be interested in seeing that. But this is the Russian who killed his dad. It's his son.
I understand that, but how on the... All right, Ragu, anybody.
That is why you're a borderline Hollywood famer. Because I love the idea. It's so much better as a spoof. He's fighting Frago.
Right. That's what's interesting to me, isn't it? Like, we know how this story ends.
It's more creative.
Let me tell you, my job in Hollywood.
How do you think it ends?
But with him knocking Drago out cold.
Right,
did you think that Creed? Do you think Apollo was going to die when he was fighting Drago? You did?
Yes. At
what?
10 years old.
What?
Man,
I didn't see it coming.
Look, as soon as he put his hands up and Drago knocked his hands on, I was like, oh, Creed's a dead man.
Yeah, that's right.
I was 9.
All right. So listen, stick around after the show. I want to pitch a couple of ideas.
All right. We will.
Originals.
Thank you, Trevor.
I ain't got time to bleed.
He's there, a borderline Hollywood famer.
Yeah, I think he's going to fight me, man.
You can listen to the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz 10 to 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio, and you can watch on ESPN News.